Poppy is a musical artist who got famous off her weird style and statements about the music industry. Poppy, along with her ex Titanic Sinclair, crafted this world, a meta-narrative about Poppy.
Oh, hi. I'm Titanic Sinclair, and I'm a director on the internet.
Oh, hi, Titanic.
And it may be happening again in a different field with another woman, a strange political pundit named Astra. This is a story of e-girls, conspiracy theories, lizard people, and a woman role-playing a teenager at the center of it. But we need to start at the beginning. So, let's go. I was originally going to be watching every single credit on IMDb with Alan Smithy in the title. Alan Smithy is a Hollywood pen name, and then I stumbled upon a weird work, a possible work of the internet edgelord Titanic Sinclair. This is insane, and pretty much all of the sources I read may, with no exaggeration, be the ramblings of paranoid schizophrenics filtered through a lens of blossoming political underground extremes. This isn't a video about politics, and the points presented in here definitely don't represent my values, but not sharing these things would just pain me so deeply. So, without further ado, meet the show with a very suspicious Alan Smithy, The Cringe Panda Show.
3, 2, 1... Suit up, bears! Two white kids operating a lemonade stand were robbed at gunpoint by teens. The motive behind the robberies is that it's a hot day and the government is just taking way too darn long to cough up those reparations. If only they had had fathers, huh?
So basically, this is like based Billie Eilish rants right-wing political views in what can be described as like a commentary-style public access kind of deal. The show was directed by, yes, Alan Smithy, with a writing credit to a CM and a screenplay by Astra Jobairith. The entire project has been memory holed, and finding clips of this thing online has been really hard. Also, the name Astra may also be a pseudonym and not this woman's actual name. No one wants their names on this project, and they seem more concerned with presenting ideas, interesting ideas at least.
Spinster Taylor Swift has broken the record of who purchased the most followers on Twitter, and finally entered the Mom Music Hall of Fame, even though 90% of her eggs are gone forever.
If we're talking internet opinions, I have pretty thick skin. You know, I have seen it all. But some of what this is extremely punching headfirst into like the fringe right wing kind of deal, which is something that I don't say lightly. You know, this goes beyond political policy, touching theories about the New World Order and the groups that run the world. The main selling point is basically that cringe is this child that is based with red pill values, and that's what makes the Cringe Panda Show interesting for people with these values, right? Though her ideas aren't even her own, and we'll get to that. The red pill child aesthetic thing was actually also done before. Regardless, this stuff definitely resonates with this crowd. There'll be a lot more quotes from anti-Semites in this video, because boy oh boy do people have lots of opinions on people who celebrate Hanukkah.
A white truck driver was dragged out of his truck in Portland and kicked to death while BLM activists laughed at him. Footage of that event circulated around Twitter. The film was made by several different bystanders, smartphones, $100 million from George Soros, and a $300,000 grant from National Endowment for the Arts.
This is 10 minutes of absolute insanity, by the way. It's basically like running the gambit of like political talking points at that current point in time. You know, you're probably wondering who the child actor exactly is, and again, that is actually an adult. That is the Astra herself. In fact, I honestly think that watching this kind of gives me the vibe that this is kind of some satirical thing. You know, it's kind of hard to tell because, I mean, we live in the internet age and everything is hard to tell whether or not it's satirical or not anymore. But this is allegedly an actor. Astra is apparently acting. So basically, the shtick was this. Astra would position herself as this teen among conspiracy nuts and QAnon types and basically integrate herself into this community. Kind of poking the bear to say by being a figure with strong opinions at a young age. It basically was getting people to feed into her zeitgeist of this alt-right teen. And if you watch any of my other cult videos, you might recognize this same exact tactic is what I used to infiltrate other cults in the past. Basically, you're trying to learn the value system, and then you reflect the value system back onto the community in order to be accepted by said community. You don't have to agree with anything, believe anything, but as long as you say the majority talking points, you get indoctrinated into the community, at least artificially if you're looking to fake it. Being recognized by the community is another way that you get social proof as a person in the community. So, for example, David Icke actually answered her question one time. This was a question about the agenda, which, you know, if you've ever listened to David Icke, he kind of meanders from point to point.
Again, to understand, one of the phrases I have is, if it comes out of nowhere and it's suddenly everywhere, it's the agenda. And what has come out of nowhere? This whole transgender explosion. So there's a reason for it. There's a reason it gets so much exposure. It's a reason the system rolls over to what the transgender activist mafia, because what it is, and I'm not talking about transgender people in general, I'm talking about the activist network, which a lot of genuine transgender people can't stand, by the way. There has to be a reason for all this. And we come back to know the outcome and you'll see the journey. The longer term outcome that relates to this is the plan is to replace the current human body with another.
But basically, according to David Icke, the plan is to replace the human body with another body devoid of gender. Then he said Orwell and Huxley knew about this. This endgame is basically to turn us all into Astro bean plushies with cute femboy BFs who don't exist because we're actually all being mind-breaked by lizards. Also, the Patriots from Metal Gear Solid are behind this plan. Also, the Patriots are Jews. I'm obviously being comedic with this, but that's the take. And it's not to say that I don't believe in conspiracy theories, it's just that this is what David Icke is saying. Part of the branding was this whole bear thing that Astra has going on with the Cringe Panda show, which also has a conspiracy theory tied to it as well. There's another guy in the community with the branding of a bear, so if you travel the absolute depths of like Twitter politics, you run into this guy named Owen Benjamin, a man who claimed to, well, you can guess what he claimed about a group of people, but don't worry, other people claim things about Owen Benjamin. Anyway, Benji here is or was building a compound. People claim he may or may not have a paramilitary group. Basically, the facts about Owen are dependent on your politics and whether or not his jokes are opinions and facts or just jokes. Beartaria was going to be this backwoods bussin' type of society, and people on the edge are basically, you know, saying that Benji promotes all these big theories about who controls the world and what their plans are, which says that his Beartaria thing has some very evil end games. Anyway, apparently Beartaria is being crowdfunded, which is hilarious. Anyway, speaking of, if you want to crowdfund me, you can do so over on Patreon or here on YouTube now. So yeah, these videos don't do well ad-wise. I don't know if you couldn't tell based on the subject matter, but support me if you can. Really, Benji is interesting because people are kind of afraid of some Ruby Ridge type incident, which if you're unfamiliar, it was a cult-like siege similar to Waco, which, you know, is always great things to hear people being worried about. But yeah. Anyway, what does Owen Benjamin have to do with the Cringe Panda show? Allegedly, according to very dubious sources, since the only people who talk about this are fringe insane people, Astra was apparently close to, or at least friendly with, Owen Benjamin. The same article I'm sourcing that I can't link to down below for very obvious reasons, calls him, well, they call Owen Benjamin some things, and then the people in the comments make some very interesting comments about Owen Benjamin. Anyway, apparently he and Astra had a falling out because Owen Benjamin believed that the Cringe Panda show was a Fed. Yes, a federal agent trying to infiltrate his community. Which, guys, I have to say, why do we think Feds moonlight as niche internet micro-celebrities? The same thing happened with Lord Miles. You know what? After talking to him, maybe the feds are running meme pages. No, but seriously, I'd bet good money on Astra not being a fed. Same thing for Miles. I did talk to the guy. I don't think he's a fed. They're not feds. If you're a fed, you'd want to integrate into the community and keep a low profile. Like, for example, I don't make fake characters in these communities and then position myself as a leader in the community. You see what I mean here? I keep a low profile. That's not to say I'm a fed, but you guys will believe whatever you want. I wish I was a fed. They'd probably pay me better than YouTube, so there's that. So yeah, on this article and various other forums that I read, random nobodies thought that Panda is like code for some Epstein stuff, which ties into this later, and that Cringe Panda is actually the illegitimate child of Owen Benjamin, and that she celebrates Hanukkah, but they use a special word to say that, and they say we live in a blank world regarding the people who celebrate Hanukkah and a slur associated with them, which is wonderful. Also, that Titanic Sinclair is allegedly railing her. No sources, by the way. These are just random people saying these things. Now, Astra is pretty old. I don't think she is the daughter of Owen Benjamin, but there's that. As for whether or not she has a relationship with Titanic, that remains to be seen and is kind of one of the questions I'm asking here. So anyway, let me give you guys a crash course on Titanic Sinclair, because you could really do like a whole video on this guy. Titanic Sinclair helped build Poppy by stealing the shtick of someone else that he had dated previously. He seems to have this habit of turning his partners into art projects, though if he gets out and like reaches out to me, you know, I'm willing to amend that statement and say that he doesn't do that if he wants to defend himself there from that, you know, opinion of mine. But it's not really clear whether or not Titanic is actually involved with Astra. There is the obvious canned artsy videos that have a relation to Poppy's videos. There's this whole like meta narrative here that Cringe Panda got memory hold, and according again to not reliable sources, the Cringe Panda identity was stolen from another channel, which is similar to something Titanic did in the past with rehashing ideas into new relationships and art projects.
Have you not seen my black square on Instagram, or my recent wave of anti-Trump tweets, or my memes making fun of Christians? I even memory hold my right-wing videos and made a video apologizing to the left.
You mean?
There is only one loose end left to tie up. You will be my Illuminati sacrifice to advance my career in Hollywood. You stupid privileged American child.
Panda even said that Titanic wrote the videos, but again, that's unconfirmed. However, I do need to counter that point. Titanic has been putting out these weird animated videos about an island. There's a man named Jeff on this island. Hillary is there too. And I'm sure you can put the dots together in your head about a man named Jeff who runs an island and tries to feed a animated Titanic Sinclair pizza.
For a reason.
Okay.
I really don't want you to mess this up.
Is this about Hillary?
Just try to stay on her good side. She likes you.
Yeah, man. I mean, she seems like pretty chill.
Try to stay on her good side, okay?
Yes, sir.
Hey, T. Just call me Jeff.
Was that you, Jules?
What?
So the guy has an interest in this whole conspiracy stuff right now, and maybe Astra is part of that whole narrative, but we don't know yet. There's a possibility that Panda is just a fan and wants his attention, but who knows? It's all wrapped in a mystery, and people who think Jewish lizard men use dreidels to contact the Clintons are the only people who are talking about this, so it's kind of hard to find information on it, especially when it's all like really, really out there stuff. And trust me, I don't think Epstein, killed himself. So, come on. And, Titanic has really made a name for himself as a director who is weird and out there. And what makes Cringe Panda weird is that it's hitting a lot of the same beats as Poppy's career in mystery. However, it's doing that almost a little too close to what Poppy was. It's just, these videos are so fringe, I couldn't see Titanic risking his career on spoofing the alt-right, when he clearly has very complex views about Jeff's Island, but whatever it is, it may have something to do with him, may not, it's hard to say. Again, obviously, I'm willing to talk to anyone involved in this video. This is me attempting to make that happen because, I mean, how the hell else do you get in contact with a director or celebrity? It's kind of hard, especially when I'm some no-name YouTuber. Cringe Panda is still rolling around on the ClearNet, so this story isn't over yet, but personally, I don't think it's genuine. I think there might be something else going on here. I think this might be a satirical project. I don't think those things Astra said are her true feelings, though I don't know if tapping into the fever-pitch conversation of fringe politics is a bear anyone should really poke for their music project. Hell, I get death threats from the hippies who love spirit science, but I'm more certain that the groups involved with the Cringe Panda types are more likely to make good on any threats that they make against me. I'm sure Titanic would want to clear the air, though, on whether or not Cringe Panda is an imposter trying to use his name for clout on the internet. Anyway, I stream on Twitch again on Fridays, and I also have a second channel where there's been videos posted, so you should check that out as well. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more weird stories about the internet, and I'll keep you posted in case this story gets updated. Anyway, watch my Miles video. It's really good in case you enjoyed this one. Take care, be well, and beware the lizard people.